Hi, welcome back to my channel, Dodie Like Jody. Today we are going to talk about the elephant in the room. A lot of people want to know, why does someone decide to have bariatric surgery? And why do they decide to have that near 60 years old? So we're going to talk about that journey and why I decided this was the right thing for me. Remember, we're talking about my personal experience here. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not anything in the medical field. This is just me telling my story of why I chose bariatric surgery. To start off with, you have to back up, we all do, the history of our lives and the health of our lives. And I started becoming overweight after I had my children. And it was not their fault, and it wasn't pregnancy fault. It was simply me not determining that my health and my weight was the top priority. And for that time, that's what it needed to be. And then I spent the next, 30 years bouncing back and forth, yo-yoing back and forth with my weight, mostly like losing some, gaining more, losing some, gaining more. And then I started having some health issues. So I had some issues with anemia. I ended up having a hysterectomy. And then the biggest thing happened about 8 years ago when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And it was lucky for me, something we could treat with a double mastectomy. And it's gone, it will never come back, and I'm so thankful for that. And I thought that would change my mind at that point to begin my journey to health. No surprise, that did not help my journey to health. Here's the thing that I determined as I was thinking through all of this. I had kind of spiraled to the point where I wanted to walk, but walking hurt my back, or walking hurt my knees. And then I wanted to be more active, but again, things hurt every time I tried to be more active. And then I wanted to cook a lot of healthy food, and standing at the kitchen was hurting my back. And so just this spiral of constantly not being able to get a firm grasp on how to begin the process of being healthy. Every once in a while, I would get on board and I would move forward a little bit, and then I would burn out. So a few years ago, I ended up with an autoimmune disease that hit me like a truck. It's called Lofgren's syndrome, and it's an acute form of sarcoidosis. And it hit me so hard, they put me in the hospital, and it was just a really rough time. And coming out of that required a year's worth of really nasty medication. I finally got through that and started really deciding something had to change. I had to make a decision. For me, I'm very not a gray person. I don't see things in gray, I see things in black and white. That's just the way I am, the way I work. I try to see things more in gray. It's a struggle. So for me, I had two choices. I could continue the way I was and try to lose the guilt I had of not being able to get my act together and just enjoy the process of what I was doing and live my life, and whatever came. Or I had to make some kind of huge, drastic change. So the year prior to my surgery was spent in research. And as I researched more and more, my ability to see that I was ready to make a drastic change became clearer. I decided I didn't want to settle. I wanted to be active. I want to learn to play pickleball. I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to cook healthy foods. And for me, that was going to require something drastic. So not only is my surgery at my age a little controversial, but I actually did medical tourism, and I traveled to Mexico to have my surgery at Mexico Bariatric Center. It was a lovely experience, and we'll get way more into that later as you have questions and in these next videos as I break things down further. But I decided and started beginning the process to get gastric bypass surgery. And I got together with my primary care manager here in Minneapolis, and they gave me the go-ahead, and they are doing all of my aftercare treatment here, which has just been lovely. When the time came to have the surgery, I knew what I was getting into. I knew what was going to be required of me. I knew approximately what I would feel like and the phases I would go through as I adapted to this new lifestyle. And it is very different. It is, first of all, for any of you who are questioning whether this is the easy way out, I don't think many people say that anymore, but if you did, it is not easy. It's very difficult, but for some people, it's the right thing. And it gave me the ability to drop weight, I walk every day. I literally could walk as long as someone would walk with me. I walk, 20 minutes to an hour every day, but I could just keep walking if I wanted. And I've never been able to do that in my life. And for some reason, being outside and grounding has been so incredibly important for me. The eating is very different. The first few months were very difficult. You go through a liquid phase, a pureed phase, a soft food phase, and then it's basically a crapshoot on what will your tummy accept and what won't it accept. And my food choices are very different now, and I have to experiment with what actually goes in my tummy and what is accepted in my tummy. I have yet to try any processed food, fast food, or sugar, and I am nearing the 6-month mark now. My goal is to not reintroduce those into my body. There's enough good stuff that I can reintroduce that I think will be satisfactory, but we'll see. I know a lot of people who have zero restrictions on what they eat. It's just the amount that they put in their bodies. I do fall into habits, and so my fear is that I would try some sugar, something sweet, and fall into that habit again of needing that in my body. And so right now, my choice is to not introduce that. There's a lot of things you have to do as you prepare for surgery. We'll dig deep into that. This is a serious decision. Please, if you are on the fence on having this surgery, don't do it until you're fully over the fence. You have to know and plan your path, your decision, your doctor, your care, your aftercare, your plan for the rest of your life. It's really, really important that all that is in place before you go and do something like this. Gastric bypass changes the way your body absorbs food. It requires you to have supplements the rest of your life, which I am faithful to the very hour. It requires you to change your mindset, your thinking, your food prep, your way of eating, your style of eating, your timing of eating. There's just so much that goes into it. So be ready. Make sure that you are prepared to have these radical changes. One other thing I will say is to please have a support system. My family, other than my husband, did not know as I was researching what I was doing. And when I was ready, I let certain family members know and friends know what I was doing, and their support has been just life-changing. From my husband to my kids, to my extended family and best friends, and some of my best friends who have had gastric bypass previously in their lives. They have been so valuable to me in walking me through and holding my hand and lifting me up and letting me know I got this and I'll be okay. So that's why I chose gastric bypass. I wanted to have a long health span, not a long lifespan. So I want to be healthy as long as I can in this life that I'm living. If that's a day or 25 more years, I'll take it. I just want to be healthy. I want to have energy to be with my adult children. If I have grandchildren at some point, I hope to be able to keep up with them. I want to help My husband and I manage things like travel. We have a camper. We love to go RVing. We have puppies. We have stairs. I want to be able to manage those things in a great way. So that's where I'm at right now. I am nearly 6 months post-op bariatric surgery at 59 years old. I'll be 60 next month. It may or may not be something for you, but hopefully I've given you some thoughts and ideas and things to think about if you are deciding whether this is an option for your life. There are many other options. Don't get me wrong. Don't think this is the only option. But for those of you who have serious weight and health issues that are thinking of having this surgery, I hope I've given you some important tips to think about. Please don't take it lightly. Do the research, do your due diligence, and then make the best decision that you can for you. Thank you for being here. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe below so you're notified when I release new videos. Have a wonderful day.